pointless flavor text at least.
No,
Like,
oh, no,
things
no, 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 no.
happened.
Yeah, totally. I mean, at least it's, like, front-loaded, I
Yeah,
guess.
that's the other thing. Yeah.
It's like, and at least it's all kind of stuff that makes the campaign kind of, like, feel impactful with the whole expedition crew and whatnot. Like, that's a nice touch. And I get that that probably takes a decent amount of, like, narrative setup, so... I like the, like that this person just took like a picture on their cell phone. And you can like see, you can like see their whatever this is on the bottom here.
That's hilarious. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think FFG has released the campaign rules for this yet.
And what's with them? They're so. You would think they'd have more time, you know.
Mm.
But it just feels like so many things have been put in the back burner, like in their like Man from Lang was asking for the asked Maxine about the what was it the
Oh,
what's
the
it called?
FAQ.
The FAQ, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it feels like they've fallen behind on so many things. You would think like they're one of their top games, they would be on top of these things, you know.
I get the FAQ a bit because like obviously you gotta know what people need to know, right?
Mm-hmm.
But with certain, like with the campaign rules, it's like, yeah, you have the PDF sitting on your server somewhere. Just upload it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, that's just annoying.
But just in general, like everything about their online presence, like their website isn't as updated as often.
Mm-hmm.
We used to get constant announcements and constant like updates on what's shipping from the manufacturer and things like that.
Oh, they've gone through like 3 marketing managers in the time in the life cycle of this game, I think at least.
I feel like 2 years ago they were in a really good place where you could go to their website, kind of get an idea of when things were going to be in the US
Mm-hmm.
in distribution, when things were in manufacturing, you know, like you could follow the process. Announcements on the website, they had a community manager that would, you know, interact with content creators in the community, and they've ended all that. Like, it just seems weird.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's like just they literally just don't have anyone directing the ship in that regard.
Yeah, I guess so.
You know, so it's like there's nobody that has the time probably to do that.
Yeah.
You know, you can't expect your like game developers to be fucking managing social media and shit like that. So,
well, with games like this, I think it's a pretty big part of the business.
yeah, but I would also argue that you should hire somebody specifically to do that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah. I don't mean like the developers, like individual. I mean like the company.
Oh yeah. No, I totally agree with you there.
To focus on that,
mm-hmm.
because especially now with the pandemic, you can't count on stores to push stuff. Most stores are like still pickup only.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to go on the website, order what you want, and then go and pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't expect the employees of the store to pitch your game for you like they used to. So,
or even just like it pitching itself by just being on the table in your store.
Right, exactly. So more than ever now, they should be depending on marketing online and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
getting their social media presence out there. But oh well.
Yeah, and I also imagine it's like hard to find people that are actually qualified for a job like that, because like any moron can say that they're a social media marketing expert, but then never actually provide any real tangible benefit to the company.
Yeah, I send 1,000 tweets a day. So
yeah, I send 1,000 tweets a day, and I get like 100 likes over 1,000 tweets. It's like
I'm
cool.
an expert in social media marketing.
Yeah. I know how to install Hootsuite. I'm a social media marketing expert. Wow. Okay. What you're saying is like you caught up with your friend Karen who sells fucking Mary Kay.
Yeah.
Oh god, my wife has had a lot of people fall down that unfortunate rabbit hole.
No. The the multimedia marketing thing?
Oh yeah, the MLM crap. Oh
Oh
yeah.
my god. I mean, not multimedia, multi-level marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. No, no, no. I have a friend who fell into that, man, way back in the
Yep.
day. Oh,
You know, if you just get 23 of your friends to tell 23 of their friends to tell 23 of their friends, then you hit like 6 billion permutations in like
yeah.
10 people.
What's sad, so like if someone's in their 20s and get into it, a lot of them will eventually get out, pretty quickly, but the ones that kind of stay for years and don't make a dime and they just keep getting into debt for it, man, you're literally ruining your entire future. But even worse are the ones that are in their 40s that get into it, that like put in their life savings into these things and not making any money, and just with that carrot dangling in front of them. And some of them years and years go by and they don't, like, it doesn't register that you're not making any money. You need to let it go. It's the constant, like, I'm about to make it big. I'm about, oh man, that's sad. Yeah,
Yep.
I hate to see when people fall into that, and a lot of them it's almost like a cult. Like,
It is. It's totally like
so
a cult.
brainwashed. You try to talk sense into them and they just don't see it because they're so into it. They're like all in, and you really can't do anything to help people that are into that other than wait for them to see it for themselves, I
Pretty
guess.
much, yeah. Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Crazy, man. So I was in Florida, for the last 3 weeks or whatever. And so, I drink a ton of these energy drinks, right?
Yeah.
So I'm drinking one of these. I go with my parents because they're looking for a new place, a new apartment. I go with my parents to a leasing office, and I'm standing there drinking this, and the lady stops and looks at me. What are you drinking there? Beer in the morning? And I'm like, wait a minute. Does this look like a can of beer? Like, what beer looks like this?
Dude, you've never seen Tall Boys in the gas station? Man, I can tell you don't live in the country. You're such a city boy.
But like going around and drinking beer first thing in the morning.
Yeah, man, it's a thing. Dude, people do that shit. I've seen it.
Man. Really?
Oh, yeah.
They'll just go about their daily business.
Oh, yeah. No, I regularly used to work with people that would brown bag in the morning.
Oh my god.
Dude, how do you think your Sunday brunch gets cooked?
Fair enough.
And then once you get into fancy restaurants, it's just served to you with an umbrella. Like, it's not that much different.
Yeah, I had a friend who was a server for PF Chang's for a few years, and oh my god, man. I don't know how those people, like, every night they'd go and hang out, like, after work. They'd get out, like, at 11 or midnight.
Yeah.
And then just go to their favorite bar and just hang out and drink till, like, 4 in the morning, only to get up again and go right back to work. Still drunk from the night before. Oh, their life.
Yeah, I'm not about that, man.
Me neither. Too old for that now.
I'm not, but I still don't like it. Is all you got Liquid Courage?
No, I got one copy of Joey the Rat, but because he's 3 XP, so I couldn't afford 2 copies since we only got 5 XP. So I figured we were taking a lot of horror, so I'm like, well, maybe a little bit of horror mitigation will help a little bit too.
Yeah,
and Liquid Courage will help me discard cards, which is kind of what I'm doing with this deck. So
discard. Yeah, discarding them and then recurring them with stuff like scavenging. There you go. Okay. Yeah,
so
I bought a hammer. I'm gonna smash shit.
Smash the hammer.
Smashy smash time. Yeah, I was debating on getting enchant weapon first. You know, just to like have more things to fill the arcane slots with.
Yeah, because that was a big thing last scenario. You struggled getting your arcane slots filled so you could get the staff.
Yeah, the dragon pull online.
Dragon pull.
Or it's like,
but now Now you're Lily the Hammer. They should do the alternate investigator for Lily and call her Lily the Hammer. And just have her start with the hammer.
I mean, it feels like a requirement because it's like the only real weapon in Guardia that she can take. Like, there is butterfly swords, but eh. It's just like, it requires you to take multiple skill tests to deal the same amount of damage.
Yeah, and multiple skill tests are no-go.
It's like, why take multiple skill tests at like a 6 when you can take one skill test at like a 12?
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
So, Lily and the Hammer are going to be best friends for probably until they taboo that card. Or they do something. But I doubt that. I don't know.
So, did we end up putting the cards that Tickler Lily?
Oh, yeah, we need to figure that out. Let us consult the great internet real quick. I can ask somebody. Maybe they know. He hasn't played part 2 yet. That's annoying.
I'm a big Warrior Princess fan. And the Tickler, it just warms my heart because every time I say it, I think of Tickler. You know how Xena used to
I can't blame you for that one.
Yeah.
You know, I was doing some searching for my retro console thing that I got set up in my bedroom, and I found an old Sega Genesis game or a Sega Mega Drive game called El Viento, which is like it's like basically like a platform beat 'em up game, but it's set in the 1930s in New York, and you play as this woman who is like an ancestor to the Hastur bloodline.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Game? I've never even heard of it.
I know, neither had I. It's like a really obscure game for the Sega Genesis that came out in like the early 90s. I was like, oh
crazy.
Yeah, I totally gotta play this now. So
yeah.
Super cool.
What a weird concept.
Yeah, so you play as this girl who is like cursed with Hastur's bloodline, and you find this like magical boomerang called El Viento. And you kill cultists with a magical boomerang. It's great.
I mean, that sounds amazing. El Viento.
As long as I can kill Hastur with a giant boomerang. That's what this game needs. We need a blowgun and a boomerang.
Yeah, boomerang would be cool, man. It would be really cool. Is Monterey Jack Australian?
I don't know what his nationality is.
Because if he is, maybe he can eventually get a boomerang. Everybody knows you have to be Australian to use the boomerang properly.
Oh yeah, I mean without question.
So if he's not Australian, then they need to come up with an Australian character.
You know what they call a non-Australian boomerang?
What?
A stick.
Oh man.
I'm gonna assume that we keep the cards in the deck. Like, from the way that the second portion of the scenario is worded, and the fact that it says reset the decks, makes me believe that we're supposed to keep the cards in the deck.
Okay, let's do it. I don't remember how many Tickler cards we have.
I don't either.
By the way, I bet we know someone who can throw a boomerang pretty well. Sub-Zero Joe.
Oh, true. And and Krabby. I know I had to take a total of 8 out of the deck. So I guess we'll just take 4 each. That sound fair?
Yeah, that sounds fair to me.
Alright, so here's your pile then.
Yay. Thank you.
Yeah.
I always think Krabby's from New Zealand for some reason.
And then you hear him talk and you're like, oh, he's clearly Australian.
They sound the same to me, man. I'm just... I can never tell the two accents apart.
But I think other than that, I got everything else set up. So the other thing it tells you to do is like to put the rest of these locations into play. And then there's these story cards called Lost in the Night, and you put them on each of the uncharted locations. So I'm assuming the whole point of this scenario is to find the missing crew out of these 9 cards. So there's 3 of them missing, and we have 9 story cards. So
okay.
Let's see here.
Fair enough.
And then it basically just has us make a new act and agenda deck. Let's see, investigators at your location can spend 1 per investigator clues as a group to draw the encounter card beneath your location. And if you're at camp, you resign and turn in for the night. And remembering that camp is down here.
A harsh wind blows. Okay.
You're right.
Oh, wait, we start at 4A?
Yes. Because we went through 1, 2, and 3, and then we're going to go through 4, 5, and 6, and then...
Oh, got it. Okay.
We're doing the trilogy of trilogies. Though I think this scenario is 4 parts? 3 parts? I don't know. Anyway, thankfully there is not much scenario text to read. Hello, everybody. We are just about to start off as our team scrambles in preparation to search for those who went missing in the night. You hate the idea of venturing back out into the freezing cold so soon after taking refuge, but you have no choice if you are to find your companions. So I already added the frost token in the bag.
Cool.
I don't know if anyone
Amy Kensler is missing, so we don't read that first one.
Dyer is dead.
Yep, Dyer's dead, so we skipped that one.
Claypool is alive and not missing, and Rolled is missing. Okay, so we read both of those.
Okay. Claypool takes inventory of your remaining supplies, shaking his head as he counts. Nothing's missing. He confesses in disbelief. They took nothing with them. Nobody saw them leave, and there's no evidence they were taken. It makes no sense. You ask Claypool how long one could survive out there without supplies. In this weather, and with those things still out there? His knowing eyes flee from yours. They won't survive the night. Oh, cool. Claypool enters with 1 additional supply. We didn't... Do we still have the same, or do we pick new?
We'll pick new ones, but it looks like, since Rold is missing, Claypool, usually something of a chatterbox, is grim and silent for the remainder of the preparations. You've never seen him so determined. Avery Claypool must be chosen.
Okay.
So he gets an extra supply, but he has to be picked. And then, let's see here. Cookie is alive. And if Cookie is chosen, we get an extra ammo. Okay. So Cookie loads bullets into his revolver with a faraway gaze. You get the sense this isn't the first time he's woken to such trauma. We're gonna find him. He intones over and over under his breath. We're gonna find him. You're unsure who he's trying to convince.
Oh, you see this comment? Towards the end of part 1, you mismoved the monsters. Look at the triangle above the crash site. There's a direct connection from left to right that you completely ignored last time. Oh. Wow.
Is there? Oh, from here to here? Yeah.
Oh, I see. Oh. Good to know. Well, thanks for informing us for the next playthrough and for this scenario.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think it was at the end, right? Where we, like, moved the enemy here instead of pushing it, yeah.
If you want, I could take Cookie, and you can take Claypool. That way you have defense against the frost tokens, and I can use Cookie to evade people. Unless you want to be able to evade. Or not evade, but make them not be able to attack, basically.
Spend an ammo, fight with a base skill of 5, you succeed in the attacked enemy. It's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. Money is decent. Evading is decent. Danforth might be okay as well, honestly.
Ooh, damn, that's really good.
Because we have 4 Tekalili weaknesses in our decks.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really good.
You know, maybe you should take him, or maybe I should take him. One of us, I feel like, should take him. Just
I have card draw with the cigarette case, so why don't you take Danforth and I'll take less Claypool. All right.
And he gets an extra one too, which is pretty tit.
Yeah.
All right, I think with that we're good to go. Let's see here. Several of your party have mysteriously vanished in the night without a sign of any struggle. You can only assume they left on their own accord. But why?
But why?
You set out to search for the missing team members, hoping to find them before daybreak. And then if we're at camp, we can resign. Find as many missing expedition members as you can by adding them to the victory display, then head back to camp before daybreak. If each undefeated investigator has resigned advance, okay. Okay, that's pretty good. Safeguard was super good last time.
Yeah, it was. I think I'll keep my hand.
Alright, well, I've got my 2 arcane slots. So that's problem 1 solved. Now we need to solve problem 2.
Right? Did we put the blessed token in the bag?
I believe I did, but I'll double check. I did, yep.
All right, thank you. Thanks for the reminder, man. Okay. We ready to start then?
I think so. Let's see. Action 1's gonna be do this. Action 2 and 3 are probably gonna be draw, so guess let's do it. Let's shaboom, ever vigilant. We'll play this for 3.
One of the most beautiful cards in the game.
I know, right? We'll play Safeguard for 1, and then we'll play Brand of Cthulhu for 1 as well. There we go. Feels pretty good to be fully set up here. 4 clues on a 3 shroud location. Second action, I'll draw. Third action, draw. Ooh, Renfield, there we go. Alright, that's me.
Okie doke. Well, then I will spend 2 actions to play my backpack. So let's draw 6. Okay, we'll put the bear under there. We'll put the liquid courage under there. Track shoes under there. Nice pull on the backpack. All right. So that was my free action. Then I shall have get the track shoes down. Well, actually, let's put this down. And then use that to play for the track shoes. To pay for the track shoes. We'll pay the track shoe. Put an arcane there. All right, and spend 3 resources from the catalog. And final action. I guess we could.
Might as well.
Courage. Yeah. 1.
I was gonna say, or the cigarette case, yeah.
Cigarette case, not liquid courage. That's what I meant. Okay, then that's my turn.
Cool. All right, go to upkeep. Renfield number 2. Okay.
Hold key ring, perfect.
And Doom and bad stuff. Abandoned to madness. Ugh.
I like the art.
I do too. That is creepy. Alright, Revelation. Attach to the nearest possessed enemy and place a Doom on that enemy. If there are no possessed enemies, search the encounter deck and discard pile for a possessed enemy and draw it. And then attach this card to it. Increase the difficulty to fight, evade, or parlay the attached enemy by 1.
Or parlay, okay. Wait. Oh, I guess it includes all 3.
Yeah, I'm assuming it does.
It should say and parlay. Because that wording makes it sound like you can pick one.
Yeah. I'm gonna take... Oh, I see, okay. Alright, yeah, I'll take this guy.
Enters with 1 Doom.
And then he enters with a second one, right? Because of this? Yeah.
Oh my god. Benzite Explorer. Where did he come from? Guys.
We just like step out of camp and he's just right there, like, oh my god!
Where did you come from? You weren't on our plane. Oh, and I get a Frenzied Explorer.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my god. Doom, doom, doom.
Alright, well, we got to evade these things, and thankfully we're pretty good at that. Let's see here. So when it's defeated... Okay, so we want to evade these things and then kill them.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. After you successfully evade the thing by 2 or more, take control of the Doom on it and flip it to its clue side. Okay, so it just gives you clues for evading it?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty sweet.
That is sweet.
Okay, well, we're both at a 4 to evade, so that's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
How do we want to go about this?
You go first.
All
Well,
right.
this one, the difficulty's increased by 1.
Yeah, so I'm 3 to a 4.
Yeah. I'll commit Glimmer of Hope for you.
Okay, so that puts me 2 up. Okay. Okay, never mind.
Wow.
Let's try that again. I'll commit Promise of Power.
Damn, dude.
Let's try that again. Okay, that's a -2. That's
Got it.
enough.
You get a clue. Okay.
He's evaded, and then the last action...
Punch him.
Yeah, I could punch him for 1, I guess.
Yeah, then he'll ready and we'll evade him again next round.
Well, it's like if I evade him next round, he just goes away.
Yeah, and you get another clue.
Yeah, so it's like fighting with this action is kind of pointless, is what I'm saying. Maybe what I'll do is
Why was there two? Oh, place one do my. Okay, I got it. Never mind.
Yeah. So I will just draw. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right, that's me.
Okay, I'm gonna attempt an evade. Let us evade. To half the shelter value.
It's a -3.
Ooh, so that's not good. That's a fail. I really don't want to have to use commit hiding spot, but
yeah, I've got nothing to commit for you, so
let's try it again. -2.
So he's evaded.
Fail. Okay, so I didn't fail, but he's evaded, but we don't get the clue. Oh wait, and at the end of when he is defeated, we move the Doom to. Okay. Well, that sucks. But whatever. He's evaded. We'll deal with it next round, I guess. I want to get the key ring out. So I will use my free action. Catalog goes to the discard. A key ring. And I'm going to investigate using key ring.
Okay.
So the shroud is 3, so -2, so it's a shroud of 1. -1, that's good enough, so I get a clue.
And you get to draw a card.
And I get to draw a card. And I will use the 2 clues to flip the encounter card. Or should we? No, you know what? We'll wait to the beginning of the investigator phase.
Yeah, let's wait. Let's see. Is it a fast action? We could do it during enemy phase as well.
Yeah. After enemy phase.
Yeah, like.
Yeah.
After
during upkeep.
Do we have a trigger in upkeep? I don't think we do.
End of enemy phase. Do we have a trigger at the end of the enemy phase?
I think so. Yeah, there's a player window after engage. Yeah, so it says next in.
Okay.
Yeah, so there is.
Okay, cool.
So you want to do it during that player window?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It says a group, right? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll spend mine. You spend yours.
Boom.
Well, that's lame.
You follow a set of tracks into a small cavern carved into a glacial wall, and your stomach lurches at the sight before you. One of your missing team members lies in a crumpled heap at the end of the hollow, his clothing torn open. No! A clean vertical incision has bisected his torso open from his sternum to his belly, and his entrails have been carefully removed. You struggle not to retch. Who could have possibly done such a thing? Damn.
Search your deck for a copy of Tekalele and place it on the bottom of the deck without resolving it. Okay.
Cool. So we remove. You go ahead because you flipped it, right?
That's not each player? Because you draw them as a group.
I guess so.
It says investigators at your location, spend the clues as a group. Then you draw the encounter.
Some of the wording in this already is a little off. Like this.
It's just a little unclear.
Yeah, like this one should say and parlay. I'm assuming they want you to increase all 3. This is unclear in terms of how many of you get to search. So let's just do the rule of the golden rule, right? We'll do one of us.
Yeah, it does say search your.
We'll use Grim Rule here and do one of us.
All
Why
right.
don't you keep the Tekalele card because your guy Danforth lets you draw cards.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, so let's get rid of these 2 resources. All right, and it goes on the bottom here, right?
Yes.
Okay, done.
And do we want to?
It doesn't say to remove one of our guys. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't say how to pick who died. Like mechanically, there's no.
Yeah, it's probably just some other person on the expedition crew.
Yeah, probably these frenzied explorers.
Yeah, you know, it's mechanic number 3 in the credits.
Yeah.
All right, so during upkeep, how do we want these enemies to engage us?
We still need to evade them, right? This one has a more difficult evade.
Yeah.
And we still need to evade them to get the doom off of them.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. So we're at 1, 2. We're gonna go to 4. Yeah, we'll go to 4 this turn. So it'd be ideal to get rid of at least 1 doom this turn, if possible.
All right, let's. So
maybe you take this one.
I'll take them both.
You sure?
I have nothing else to do.
Okay, yeah, I guess I can play Renfield and get Renfield going.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So you go first and get Renfield going.
All right. Let's go to upkeep first.
Mm-hmm. Take a Lily. Take 1 damage. I shall take a damage. Okay.
I will resolve Danforth. So you then get to draw 2.
Oh, I draw 2?
Yep.
What? That's awesome. Nice. Transfer supplies.
Okay.
I like it.
So yeah, 4 doom and bad stuff. A polar vortex. Oh my goodness. Attached to your location when you end your turn at attached location. Ugh. Each card you control with health takes a direct damage at the end of the round. All right.
That's harsh.
Yeah, that's gross, especially for our allies.
Oh shoot! I just drew 2 by mistake. Dark Aurora. Test 3 willpower. Okay. Oh, this is that thing that gave me a ton of horror last time. Oh boy. Okay, so willpower. I don't really have any icons, so we're just gonna go for it.
I can give you 1, but yeah, that doesn't really help you.
No. -3. Okay, so I failed. I take 2 horror. 1, 2. Okay. I'm gonna have to start drinking.
Okay.
It's fine. The horror is fine. I don't mind the horror. All right, so
do you want to go first?
I'll go first and evade these guys. So the one with the abandon to madness, I'll commit hiding spot.
Okay.
So I'm a 6 to a 3. -3. I succeed, but not by 2. God damn it. This sucks.
Well, at the very worst, you evaded him.
Yeah.
If you can evade, if you don't evade it, it's like not the end of the world, because they'll die anyway.
True.
And then when I play Renfield, it's
action 2.
There you go.
All right. So he is evaded by more than 2, so we get a clue.
And you get to draw.
And I get to draw a card.
Nice.
Pick a Lily.
I unfortunately can't give you Danforth because he's exhausted, but
I take a horror.
You might want to put it on less Claypool.
No, I'll take the horror. Why is he exhausted? We went to upkeep.
Because you drew it in upkeep.
You're right.
Because he was ready. He was already ready, and then you drew it in upkeep, and then he exhausts. And there's no opportunity to ready him until the following upkeep.
Well, I'm gonna get the hell out of Dodge. So, final action. I'm gonna move up.
All right, I will safeguard with you.
I will not be using track shoes because that's a one-shot location, so I like that.
Okay.
We'll leave the guy with the doom there then.
Okay, that's fine.
All right.
So if I play Renfield, I probably shouldn't add a doom to him, right? Because we don't want to advance this turn.
Right. Add a doom to him
next turn. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I got one last free action.
Okay.
Which I'll use to play
some booze.
Yeah. Spend 1 resource. Okay. That's my turn.
All right. I will Renfield. I will not use Renfield, which feels weird, but this is the world we live in now. I'm gonna grab some clues. I will investigate 1 to 3.
-1. -2.
-2. That is good enough. Okay.
Oh, hold on. Manson's right. Uncharted locations. So there's a few that
No, I double checked.
Yeah, yeah, they're all right.
It's basically just the 4 starting locations that don't count.
Yeah.
Okay, so I grabbed those, and let's see here. I'd like to find a weapon. I mean, I do have the brand, all worst comes to worst, but... I also don't want to draw a Tikalili weakness. That should technically, I think, be like that. Or no, they're supposed to be revealed, I believe. I think it specifically says they're supposed to be revealed.
Yeah, because they don't want you having to spend clues to get into the location. I'm assuming. Because those Uncharted, we would have to spend clues. Right?
No, it's set up correctly. It's just a little off, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it just says put each remaining set-aside location into play. It doesn't say anything about unrevealing them. I mean, which would make sense thematically. You've already, like, gone through and investigated them, so... Alright, so... Last action, do it again? Cool. Okay.
Very nice. Flip them. Oh, you got... If you have no actions left, don't flip them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my turn.
Okay.
Renfield, double investigate.
Goes away.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
Alright, these guys don't hunt, so don't have to worry about that.
Yep.
Do we want to draw this during enemy phase?
Yes, let's do it.
Alright, I will spend 2 clues.
Cool.
To your relief, you come across one of your missing team members, but they are not themselves. Their eyes are glazed over, their expression dazed and lost. A murky, slimy substance drips from their face and trickles onto the ice below. When you finally manage to get through to them, they wipe the strange, inky miasma from their face, staining their cheeks black. What was I doing? They ask. Choose a possessed enemy in play that does not have the elite trait. Take control of each doom on that enemy, flipping them to their clue side, and discard the chosen enemy. Haha!
Yeah.
Kaboom!
That guy.
And then...
That's the one that had the weakness.
So all this goes away. Beautiful. Add this card to the victory display.
Very nice.
That's pretty much a X-Files reference, though, right?
I don't remember. It's been so long since I've watched the X-Files.
So I think it's in season 4. It might be season 3. But there's an episode where they go to Antarctica and they find a black tar substance that corrupts people and infects them. So I'm not saying Maxine didn't take inspiration from X-Files, but it's just awfully convenient.
Yeah.
It's like to the T, man. I'm telling you, it's like the same thing.
I had started watching X-Files last year, so I went through the first 6 episodes of season 1, but I got to get back to it. Okay, so now we have upkeep, yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right.
Was it not? No, I'm pretty sure it was Antarctica. There's also the episode called The Worm, which I believe is in the first season. That's basically just a retelling of the thing.
Huh. I think that one sounds very familiar to me.
That one's like one of the earlier episodes. All right, so three doom. No enemies on the board. 0 visibility. Gross.
Okay.
Put it into play in your threat area as an additional cost for you to leave a location with a treachery. That's fine.
Oh, look, there's that black miasma again. Lost researcher. Empty location. Here's one doom. Okay.
The art is so good.
Let's put him here. I want to get some of those clues there. Those are easy to get.
Yeah, you're able to do that intellect test, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta look what I found.
Yeah.
Okay, so... Let's see, how do we want to go about this?
Maybe I'll move up. You follow me.
Mm-hmm.
I do the intellect test, and then I investigate to find these 2 clues.
Okay, that works.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So I move up.
I safeguard.
She engages. Alright, so that was action 1. Action 2, I will intellect test. I'll commit look what I found.
Okay, that's a 6 to a 3.
Uh-oh.
You have less Claypool.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Spend 1 supply. Cancel that. And reveal a new one.
Of course.
Wow.
Of course. Well, hey, at least you didn't draw both of those in a row. That would have sucked.
Yeah, that is a success, though. Yeah, that would have sucked. That would have been autofill, right? So, test is successful. Flip it to its clue side. And discard this person. All right, got 1 action left. Let's, well, I can investigate. I also kind of want to play this. So here, let's do this. Final action, I'll scrounge for supplies and get my catalog back.
Oh, there you go. Bob Action Play Catalog.
Yep, Bob Action Play Catalog.
Beautiful.
All right, and that's my turn.
All right. Yeah, I guess I'll hold off on Renfield for another turn. I don't really need the resources anyway this turn, so.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guess I'll start with.
It's a low shroud. We can grab these clues.
Yeah. Maybe I'll just. Will that only be 3?
Here's my plan, right? So I wanted to keep these clues so we can reveal this location. So basically next round I plan on moving here, then track shoes into here using the clues to reveal the location.
Okay. If that's the case, do I need a... like committing a spectral razor for an icon is pretty bad. Here's what I'll do. No. I will... I'll draw a first action. Okay, that's fine. I will then investigate. Go 5 to 2.
-2. Good
okay,
enough.
That's good enough.
Get the clue.
Get the clues. That spends my charges. Now I have a reason to play Flesh Ward.
Nice.
Which, the first time I read this, did not say ward. That's all I will say. And third action, I'll move down back here. If your plan is to go here, you move in, you track shoes, I'll follow you.
And you follow me, yep.
Okay, perfect. No enemies on the board, thankfully. Go to upkeep.
Upkeep.
Someday I'll find a weapon. Someday.
Yeah. Oh man.
I feel like this is going to be a running problem with this deck is that I'm going
one or the other.
I'm going to have either the spells or the dragon pole, but certainly not both.
Yep.
All right, so we're at 4 dim of 5, and we find an Antarctic wind. Attached to the nearest location without a copy of it, investigators at attached location cannot play or draw cards from their deck. That is fine.
Yeah.
Because we're out of there anyway. Oh no!
Skittering nonsense.
Well, that puts a damper in our plans.
Put a huge damper on it. Because that evade value of 4 sucks.
Can you...
I'm just going to try and... I'll commit the bandages and try and evade it 2 up on the test.
I could... I mean, that... committing both bandages is kind of rough.
Yeah, but I could just get it back with transfer supplies.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
Okay. If you feel like you can pass the test, let's see.
I don't, but...
The shelter is low enough, at least the skull isn't working against you.
That's true. Well, let's give it a shot. If I can't do it, then I'll have to just take my chances punching.
Alternatively, I could go first and move in and kill it.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to do that, but then we can't do the plan. I guess next round you can move in.
No, we still could, because if I move in and kill it, and you can still move in.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, you want to move in, kill it, and move back.
Okay, so I'll move in. I'm gonna Spectral Razor.
Don't hit me though. Oh, you're gonna Spectral Razor.
Yeah, I think it's pretty worth it. Take the engage in the fight.
Use Renfield first.
Yeah.
One more willpower.
Let's see, because we're at witching hour anyway, so.
Yeah, that way he'll give you 1 extra willpower. I can't,
Yeah, boost. And that resource. So boom, that'll put me up to an 8, which is definitely good enough. Okay, so he gets bopped, and then yeah, I can just move back.
Nice. Good turn. Good turn. All right. I will then first action move.
Okay.
All right. Then I will track shoes. Hold on. Let me read track shoes. See what the.
Oh yes, the skittering nonsense triggers. I always forget about this.
What does he do?
Oh, take a Lily card. Does it shuffle it?
All right. So I will track shoes. Yeah, I have a 5 to a 3, so I'm gonna commit bandages. I'll still commit both bandages. So I'm a 7 to a 3. I'm 4 up.
Okay.
And then take the test. Oh wait, I don't have to do that yet. -2. That's good enough.
Okay.
Then exhaust track shoes. Then we move in. We're gonna spend 4 clues. 8 clues.
Do we have 8 clues?
Yeah, I believe so.
I've only got 5.
Oh shoot, we're short 1.
Just move in here.
Yeah, I guess we'll move in there. But the shot is so high.
I mean, we have clues though, right? So.
Oh yeah. So we can free action spend it there. Okay, so let's. So I still have 3 actions left, 2 and then 1 bob action. So, oh wait, I think it's empty. No, it's not. Oh wait, and I get to draw a card from cigarette case. Okay.
I was like, where's the backpack?
So yeah, I'll use the free action to reveal that card then.
Okay.
And 2 clues. Let's flip them. There's nothing here but ice and snow and no sign of any missing team members. Frustrated, you turn back. You won't find anyone here. Remove a ice token from the chaos bag.
Cool.
Nice.
Cool. Okay. Take it.
All right, so then we'll keep moving.
Go back into your bowl.
I'll move back up. I'll move up here.
It's just gonna sit there. Okay, that's fine.
The treachery is attached. Okay, this place sucks. We move here, and I can't reveal that one, but what I'll do is I'll liquid courage while I'm at it. Oh. Scroungers, could lose my scrounge. That's fine. I need to heal her. Now let's do this. Let's do my final action. Scrounge for supplies. Oops. Grab bandage. And free action. I'll play the bandage. Okay. Next round I'll take a swig.
Okay.
All right, so that's our turns. Pretty productive.
Yep. So this goes away. I have to test this agility thing, which I forgot about.
Oh yeah. But you're fine because you weren't.
Well, no, because I moved in.
You didn't have it. There was no treachery attached to either location. Was there?
Yeah, there was.
Oh, was there?
Yeah, it was this thing.
So lose an action next turn, I guess.
Well, I think I drew this. I drew this the turn before. I should have tested it in the first place.
Oh, got it. Okay, yeah.
So it wouldn't.
You would have gone away.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
I guess at the very worst, it's like I would have been here.
Yeah.
And then ended my turn, and then I could have safeguarded here. So I guess we'll just say that.
Mm-hmm.
So I spent 2 actions, go up here, and then I special razored, and then I moved back down here.
Okay. Yeah, because revealing this, I used my 2 clues, so it wouldn't have prevented that from happening.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Upkeeps.
Yeah.
Hey, Renfield. Why don't you Renfield? Get some more resources.
I don't think I have a... Oh, there is a... Well, Renfield would be exhausted, right?
No, upkeep. He comes back.
You don't have a player window in that time.
Okay, after then.
Yeah, it's upkeep begins, you have a player window, and then you reset everything. That's fine, I'll just flip that to its broken side. Alright, and then we advance. Choose a face-down encounter card beneath a location. So as you journey through the glacial wilds, you stumble across a set of tracks in the snow leading farther from camp. You pause and investigate further. Were these tracks made by one of your missing team members? Or by something more monstrous? Alright, so choose a face-down encounter card beneath a location. Look at the other side of that card without resolving its text, then return it face down. The low-hanging sun dimly illuminates the Antarctic night. Gray clouds cover the sky, threatening an icy storm.
So the card... Which one do you want to pick? Let's pick this one down here. Because I don't think we're going to make it there.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. We don't need it anyway. Alright, so I guess we'll just race up this way then. Well, that's going to be kind of annoying, because then we're going to have to race all the way up here, then go all the way back down the map.
Yeah.
So...
Damn.
We'll have to keep that in mind when we think about how much time we really have.
Okay.
We're going to have to basically spend like a whole turn moving from one side of the map to the other.
Yeah, definitely.
So, alright. So we'll go to bad stuff, and I draw... Let's see. Test willpower X, or X is the shelter value. It's 4. Gross. If you fail, you must choose one. Take a horror for each point you fail by. Place. Ugh.
You know the ice token is the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that being terrible in certain circumstances, but I'm gonna commit Promise of Power, and I'll use Renfield. I'd rather just not. Just because, like, trying to keep multiples of 2 out of the bag is pretty helpful.
That's fair.
So let's see, that puts me to 8, 9? No, 8, yep.
Of course, is a horse.
Alright. So I could either place 2 clues on my location or add the token. Or take 4 horror.
We could afford the clues. Why don't you drop the clues, yeah? We could afford to lose 2 clues.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. Alright, let me roll my card. Another skittering nonsense, of course. Okay.
Fun on a bun. Okay, well.
You want to come on down?
Let's see, it'd be 1, 2.
And do your little spectral razor maneuver.
Yeah, I guess that would be the way.
Yeah. And then while you're there, we could flip this card, you know, with your clues.
Yeah.
And then I can move and you can follow me.
All right, so I'll move. Move. And Spectral Razor. Fighting at an 8. Okay.
It's that. Get tickly. Beautiful. All right, so let's
this is on the condition that you have to help me pay for my hammer when it comes up.
Oh, without question. All right, we're gonna spend 2 clues. Use 2 of your clues. We're gonna flippity flip with the flip.
Okay.
All right, let's see what happens.
Ah, whoops. Bloody evidence.
You follow a set of footprints through the snow, hoping they will lead you to a sign, any sign of your lost companions. Sadly, the evidence you discover is not the kind you were hoping to find. Where the prints end, you find an ice pick covered with freshly frozen blood. To your horror, a human eye lies nearby, staining the snow red. A shudder creeps up your spine. What on earth could compel somebody to do such a thing? Search the top 9 cards of your deck for each Tekelilili and place on the bottom. Oh, wow.
Go ahead.
All right. Let's see. Top 9, right? So let me flip these. Or 9. Each Tekelili, there are none. There are no Tekelilis in those top 9.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy. All right. So now the turn proper begins. So we flip that. We'll need, you got 1 clue, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what do we need to get in here? 4 clues. Not gonna happen. We need 8 clues to get in there. Okay.
You have lockpicks?
No, but I'll go ahead and just investigate then. So
I can give you
first things first.
1.
First things first. First action, I will take a swig off my delicious drink here.
Okay.
So I heal horror.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get a test 2 willpower. Skull, which is a -2. That's a fail.
So why didn't you just commit this one?
because I want to heal to another horror. So I heal another horror, and I discard one of these, which I don't care which one, because neither one matters right now.
Oh, I see.
See, it's just the same as committing it, but I heal an extra horror. All right. That was action 1. Action 2. Let's old keyring. So the shroud value is reduced by 2. That's shroud of 1 now. Order 1. Uh-oh.
Hey!
Okay, so I definitely succeed.
The vase special right there.
Yeah, right. So I succeed, and I will draw a card from cigarette case. All right, so I get the clue,
And then that goes away.
All right, then I will spend 1 resource, play winging it, reducing the shroud by 1. So 4 to a 2. That is a -2, so that's successful. Another clue. And final action, final non-pop action. I will move. Wait, can't really move to either one of these two, can I?
You can move down here.
4. I want to get into one of these.
Well, yeah, we could move. You could move here.
Here?
Yeah, we could move onto the treacherous path. Discover these clues, grab these clues, and then move into here, right? That would be enough.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, we'll move in there.
Actually, I think that still makes us 1 short, but...
Oh, so if it's going to make us 1 short, I might as well just try and grab these first. Because then I can grab these, move here, grab these, then move here and track shoes into one of these next round.
I mean, even still, that still puts us short. Because you've got 2 and I've got 1. And we need 8.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Unless you want, if you go into the cave, we have enough for sure.
Yeah,
but...
we'll go in the cave and then grab those clues then.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll just discover these first then.
Okay.
So I will play winging it from discard. A1. And -1 shot, so 4 to a 2. Oh no.
That sucks.
Well, that does suck. Does it go in the bottom or shuffles in?
I think it shuffles. Yeah, shuffle into your deck.
Okay. Damn it. That's 2 auto fails. That's okay. That's not a huge damper on our plans.
And yeah, because I can read the signs as well. Worst comes to worst.
True, true that. Let me just see what's under my backpack again, so I can. Oh, the keepsake. Yeah, I'll use my bob action.
You've got cigarette case.
I do. I guess I don't need this keepsake. Fine.
Yeah. Just hold on to it until you need it.
Yeah.
Oops.
I won't need it because I got liquor. All right. Upkeep. Perfect.
All right, so doop-a-doop-doop. We got 2 Doom of 5 here because of Renfield. Oh, I'm getting the shaft yet again.
Oh.
All right, testing 3 versus 4. Nothing I can do about that. There we go. Perfect. Actually, it's 3 versus 3.
You made it.
The round ended, right? Yeah, there's no enemies, so this actually flips. So, okay, so I made it. There we go.
Touch your location. Not that bad at all. That's fine.
It gains surge, however.
Through the ice. Attach to nearest without a copy. That's our location.
That gains surge as well.
Damn it.
Now all of us. Oh my goodness.
Evils. Surge, ancient evils.
Classic.
Yep. Okay, so now we can't leave without taking a test. Not a huge deal, but
Yeah, thankfully we're both
no.
pretty agile.
Yeah. Okay.
The double whammy of the whiteout plus through the ice is kind of gross, though.
Yeah.
All right, so guess we should figure out how we want to grab our clues. You want me to grab them?
Yeah, let's do that. Grab them, then I'll go here and try to grab these.
Would you want to pay for my rosary?
Yeah. 1, 2.
Because that would require you to go first.
Oh. Okay, I'll go first and use my free action, pay for your rosary.
Okay.
Okay. Then I'll leave location. Don't follow me.
Okay, so let's see. There's an additional cost for you to enter or leave. You have to test the agility.
So I have a 4 minus 1 is a 3.
Yeah.
And testing against a 2. That's kind of rough. Okay. All right. It is what it is. -1. I succeeded.
You were, yeah, 3 to a 2. Yep.
Yep. So succeeded. Then I'm here. Okay, so that's action 1. Investigate. -2. That's good enough. Investigate. -1. That's good enough. All right. So those are all my actions.
Okay.
I get both clues. I'll move back up in next round, I guess.
Okay. I'm gonna draw. Ugh. Of course.
Might as well get rid of it now.
Yeah, I'll use Renfield and then 2 actions.
Yeah. Because next round we'll just move in here. We'll grab these clues on the way back.
Okay. Let's see. We're gonna be at 4 doom because of Renfield. So we're kind of running out of time. Just
we need to
something
speed it
to
up.
consider. Yeah.
We'll be able to get this one. Then we'll have to go back around to get into one of these. Get some clues.
Yeah.
So it's going to be kind of a pain, but that's fine. We'll get.
Yeah, I
the
think
most that we can.
The Icy Waste is probably a location we should consider moving into next. We'll go into the cave, go there, and then I think that'll probably be all we have time for.
Okay. How many? Oh, yeah.
Because we have to consider we have to go all the way back down to the snow graves and resign.
So why don't we do that? Why don't you grab these clues and we'll go Icy Waste, Icebreaker Landing, and then come back and resign.
Yeah, if we have enough time, we'll see.
Yeah.
We shall see. Okay. Go to upkeep.
Upkeep.
This goes away at the end of the round, thankfully.
Thank God. And that's supposed to be at the location where you are.
I don't know. I take a horror. And then I'm going to use Danforth to draw 2. Hammer? Ah, a ward is nice, though. And Clairvoyance is actually kind of nice here, too. So, not the worst. All right. So, yeah, we're at 4 doom. Bad stuff. Ugh, smelling shit again. Is it encounter deck and discard pile, or just the encounter deck? And discard pile, okay. Should I just take the one that requires the evasion, or should I take the parlay one?
Parlay.
I think the parlay one's easier, right?
Yeah.
Because you could even move in and parlay it, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So where should we put it? Or does it get attached to my location?
Empty of Able. So it'll have to go here.
Okay, yeah, it says draw it. Okay.
Here. Put it here.
Well, it's gonna have a doom on it.
Yeah, so I'll move in here and parlay with it.
Well, actually, no, because we're gonna go up to 4. Rainfield already has a doom on him anyway, so we're gonna advance anyway. So this thing just will go away. Oh no, it won't.
It won't advance yet. it doesn't cause it to advance. So it'll buy us around. I'll move in, parlay.
Actually, hold on, because it just says it enters play with a doom, but it doesn't say.
It doesn't say it can cause it to advance, and the only thing that would have caused.
No, I'm just saying, like, when we advance, it won't die. It'll just stick around at the location. So maybe we should just put it in a location we're not going to go back to.
Oh, you don't want me to buy us around and go here?
Well, like, we're already going to advance this coming around anyway.
Because of Renfield, I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah. Put her way down over here.
So we could just, like, stick her over here somewhere?
Yeah. That works for me.
And I'm not even going to bother putting the doom on it, because we already know that's going to happen. So, okay. So that happens. So it's all you.
Alright. Testable power. Shelter value is 1. I stand a chance.
Some booze and help you out.
Yeah.
Though I guess taking a horror is not the end of the world.
No, it's not.
So.
So I have 2 against a 1. I'm gonna commit Glimmer of Hope. 3 against a 1. +1. Look at that.
Beautiful.
Success. I'm not that scared of you.
And you get to draw.
And I get to draw. Alright, another catalog. Alright.
Keep in mind when you enter, you're gonna have to make that agility test.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking of heading this way. It'll cost us less clues to get to these 2 locations.
Rather than going here?
Yeah. We go here, we reveal 2 of them. Unless you want to... No, you can't knock that out on your own. Okay, because...
Well, I mean, I could just... If we're, like, gonna totally disregard this location, I could just try to pass that agility test to go first.
Yeah, I say let's disregard it. If you can grab these clues, even better, and then move. But if not, that's fine. So, like, grab the clues, move, and then... Or, sorry, grab the clues, move over here to Ice Sheet. Then I'll move here. Grab these clues.
So I could... Okay, here's what I'll do. I will start with read the signs.
Very nice.
And during that, I'll Renfield for 2 resources. And we'll go ahead and investigate. I'm at a 5, 6, 7. What's the shelter value?
-2.
Perfect.
Beautiful. Okay. Now, hopefully, you pass the test.
I mean, even if I don't, I'll take a damage in a horror and it'll go away.
True.
So 2 to 4 here. 2 to 4 is good enough. Okay, so I move in.
And then move over to the Ice Sheet.
Yep, and then I'll move over here.
Okay, cool.
That's me.
All right. Perfect. I will... How many clues do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it takes...
Oh, no, we've got... Because you've got 4 and I've got 3, so we've got 7.
So I'm not even going to bother getting these clues. I'm going to move in. Track shoes.
Okay.
So testing against a 3 and I have a 5. So that's 2 up. I don't have any way to boost it, so I'll just go 2 up. Please.
Perfect.
Good enough. All right. And so we'll use 2 clues.
And I'll safeguard.
2 clues.
Yeah, I'll spend them.
Okay. We'll reveal this. Okay. We'll spend 2 clues. I'll spend 2.
Okay.
1, 2 to flip that thing over.
It's Dr. Amy Kensler.
What? Finally, dude.
Let's see.
So do we just get her?
So she's a 4/2/3 enemy.
Oh, I see. It's
a parlay test intellect 2 to convince Dr. Kensler of what you've seen. For each point you succeed by, place a resource on her. If you fail, she attacks you, and if there are 4 resources on her, you add her to the victory display.
Wow, that's action intensive. Okay.
And if she is defeated, you cross her name off in the campaign log. Well,
Jesus.
it's
all right.
because it doesn't say there's a maximum, so you could pass an intellect 2 test by 4 and get them all at once.
Got it. Okay. Well,
So that makes flying close super good.
Yeah, it really does. I'm gonna
because I can give you.
Scavenging. I'm gonna commit the catalog.
I'll commit 1 as well.
So that's a 7. I'm 7 up. And here comes the autofill.
Oh, that's a -3. That's -5.
So still succeed by 2. So we put 2 resources.
Because you were 4, 5, 6,
7. 7 up -5. We're 2 up. So
you just pass. That's just passing. That's a 0.
No. We're 7 up.
No, you were 5 up. You had an intellect
5 up. Shoot. You're right. My bad. So she doesn't even get a resource.
No. I mean, just try it again. I can give you another icon.
Okay, let's do it. Oh my god, really? 0. So now I'm up by 3. I succeed by 3.
So she gets 3 icons. Or
Okay,
3 resources.
That's something. Are you getting them? Okay. So we need 1 more. No, we need... Yeah, 1 more.
And she engages you.
She engages me. That's my turn, though. Unless you have anything you want me to play for you.
Nope. I don't have any items, so...
Okay. Alright.
Alright, so enemy phase, she's gonna hit you.
Alright, so she hits me for 1 and 1. I'll take it.
You have
and
bandages.
I'll bandage to reduce the damage. Alright.
Upkeep.
Upkeep. Old keyring, good.
Ooh, prep for the worst. There we go. Alright, so we definitely advanced this round.
Yeah.
Because of Renfield. Whoops, there we go. As you journey through the glacial winds, you stumble across a set of tracks. Wait, what? 4, 5. What? Yeah. It's literally the same text, though.
That's hilarious.
Is that a mistake?
No, it's probably just same thing happened.
Choose a face down encounter card. Yeah, it's the same deal.
And we're gonna have how many rounds? We got 6 doom.
So and you wanted to go to the icebreaker landing?
Well, now that we can look at it, if we don't need to, then we'll just move this way and try to get these 2. All right. So why don't we reveal that and see?
Well, let's roll.
That's where we want to go.
All right.
Yep. Perfect. So at least we know we need to go there.
All right. Actually, I want to just take a look at him real quick.
Oh yeah.
Parlay of.
Ooh, 5.
Combat or agility.
Okay. Well, we can pull that off.
Yeah, I think we can too.
Yeah.
Okay. That is that. That's fine. I'm 4 versus 3. I can tank horror.
Okay.
There we go. Perfect.
All right. Same thing. I'll commit my liquid courage.
Okay. 4 versus 3. Hey, you get to draw a card. Look at that.
Beautiful. There's winging it again. You failed me last time winging it.
All right. Yes. So, first thing is first. We got to parlay this. How do we?
So, do you want to just parlay it? Yep. And then just try to pick up clues. All right. So, parlay.
Do you need an icon?
If you can, that would be nice.
Because I could commit prepared for the worst. It's like at this point, how many more enemies are we going to be fighting?
Yeah, I agree. We don't need the hammer, so do it. All right, that's pretty comfortable. Parlay. That is a cultist -2. That's good enough.
Because you were 5 versus 2, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So
it's exactly enough. Whew. Add her to the victory display. Okay.
Okay. So that was action 1. Do we have clues to get in here?
I've got 1 and you've got 2. So we need one more.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and investigate this using winging it. I'll spend a resource. So, hey, look at that. Succeed by a ton. So I grab the clue.
Okay.
All right. I have one more action. Let us move in. Spend all the clues.
Okay.
Now we know. We'll need 2 more clues to flip them. I can nab those clues next round, or if you want to nab them. But that's my turn. Well, I get a free action. I'll play the keyring. Pay for it with the catalog.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, there's not much I can really do.
Draw cards.
Yeah, I could draw.
Just have icons for the tests.
Yeah. Okay, action 1. Action 2. Hey, Torrent of Power is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I wish it was a willpower skill test, but that's not the world we live in. Action 3, draw, I guess. Alright, so let's see here. Place a clue on my location, which I can't do.
Yep.
Perfect. I resolved that. I used Danforth.
Draw 2 cards. Very nice.
There's the hammer. And then here's... Discard an asset.
Clairvoyance.
That is...
Oh, no, you want it to have that slot taken, don't you?
No, I don't.
No.
Not with the hammer. I don't care.
Yeah, it's only with the dragon pole.
And now we just... Whoop-bap!
Cool.
That's me.
Alright, upkeeps.
Yeah, this doesn't hunt, right? Yep.
I got Klepto.
Is this where you take my Holy Rosary again?
Yep.
Actually, you can just take my money. I can play hammer and then you can take my money.
Yeah.
And then now I commit hammer to the parlay test. Well, we have unexpected courage. We have ward.
We got plenty of icons.
Stupid nonsense. All right, 1 doom. I didn't put 1 on Renfield, so that is fine.
Yep. Skittering nonsense.
Yeah, I don't think this is worth warding. So
you want to deal with the nonsense? Go first.
What? Play hammer and smack it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can play hammer and smack it if you want.
I'll play your... Oh, no, I would have to go first to play your hammer for you, right?
Yes, you would. It's fine, I have the money. 5. Little smash. A billion to a bajillion.
You're gonna engage it first, right?
What? You think I'm gonna draw the auto fail?
I'd rather you not.
Okay,
in case you hit me.
It's my entire turn to do that.
It's fine because we need the clues right now to be able to flip the tutor.
All right, I'll take him and then I'll whack him.
No risk, no fun.
Yeah.
No wonder you're called Entropy Freak. Just like the chaos. Embrace the chaos.
All right, so let's see. I'm gonna add my willpower of 4. So we're smacking this at an 8.
Uh-oh.
It's still enough.
Yeah. Oh, God.
It's enough to deal 2 damage and kill it and draw a Tekulili card.
You got to use a hammer.
Yay! We did it. We got there.
Okay. I will hold the keyring.
Okay.
Oh, you're done, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do I have to exhaust it? No. All right. Well, keyring.
I have to make this agility test, which I do.
Shroud 2, so 0. So you make your test.
Yep.
All right. Here we go. Against a 0. -1. Good enough. Use the other resource. Yep. -3.
Yep.
Enough. Keyring goes away. The first one lets me draw a card because of his buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Take 1 damage. I'll bandage that.
Danforth will let you draw 2.
Beautiful. All right.
Ooh, intel report. Perfect.
Yeah, that is nice. But I already got the 2 clues that we need to flip the guy, the duder. So, final action.
Well, don't flip him yet. Unless you, unless you're 100% confident you're going to pass that test.
I'm not going to flip him yet, but I will spend 1 resource to grab 2 copies of Glimmer of Hope.
You could also try to do this parlay, if you feel like you could pass it.
Well, that's all my actions, though.
Okay. And you're just going to tank this.
Tank where?
Your Klepto?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
All right. Then we'll go to Upkeep.
Upkeep. Yeah.
All right, 2 Doom of 6. Investigators that attached to location cannot play cards or draw cards from their deck.
Okay. We just need to commit cards, so we're good. Attach to the nearest location. Discover or take control of 1 or more clues. That's fine. We're not discovering more clues right now. All right. Let's get Duder out, right?
We have enough icons?
Yeah. What do you charges? So your Torn of Power, you can use charges from your Brand of Cthulhu.
Yeah. It turns this
Beacon of Hope, Glimmer of Hope. So try to take the test. I'll commit Glimmer of Hope.
It's like we're both out of 4 on either one of the stats. So it's like, I guess the question becomes like whose actions are more valuable? But I guess
so Glimmer. So if you Torn of Power and get 2 wild icons, right? And actually, you'll get 3 wild. You use two charges from the Brand of Cthulhu, right? For your Torn of Power, that'll give you 3 icons. You'll be 2 up, right? And I'll commit 2 copies of Glimmer of Hope. You'll be. Oh no, I can only commit 1.
Yeah, you can only commit 1.
Shoot. Okay. So
well, I guess. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say maybe if I fail it, you can try the agility. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So I guess I'll go first, and then you spend the 2 clues.
I'll spend 2 clues.
We'll draw this. We'll draw rolled. He'll engage me. Yeah, we just have to pass. It's not by a certain amount. Okay.
Entropy, yeah, I've got 2 copies of Scavenging in there.
He had one earlier, but he had to discard it.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll do this. I think I'm gonna spend 3. Might as well, because I can spend up to 3.
I'll commit a copy of Glimmer of Hope for you.
So let's see. That's 4, 5. So we're 4 up. I don't think you need to commit the Glimmer.
Might as well do it, because the amount you succeed by is important. I can always pick it back up.
No, the amount I succeed by isn't important. It's just we have to pass 2 of them. So
got it. Okay, I see. It's not like the other one.
Boom.
+1. All right.
There we go.
So 1 down.
Okay. Let's do this again. I will commit Unexpected Courage.
I'll commit Glimmer of Hope now.
6, 7. Okay, 2 up. That's a -2, yeah? Perfect.
We got it.
Got him.
Got him.
We found you, Rald. You crazy son of a bitch. Just sitting there with his bauble, just give me it. It's like the book from Night Floors.
Do it.
Okay. Last action.
We can try and get 1 more at the barrier camp. Do we have time?
Well, I was just thinking maybe we want to grab the supplies. Because we know this isn't it. So it's like one of these 2 locations.
Yeah.
I mean, we're basically never gonna go here. We just don't have the time to get the clues. So I think at this point, like between this being a bottleneck, and like just the amount of time we'd have to spend, we should just go resign. I think, yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right, good call. We got 2 of them out of the 3. That's not bad.
I was gonna say, sorry, our physician is forever lost. It's fine. Bob brought his bandages. We'll be fine. Yeah. So I think if that's the case, I think we should try to pass this parlay test and grab some supplies on our way out.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah, I think if anything, we should just try to do that because we've got that. We've got that. Yeah. Okay. Right. So I guess last action. I can't draw anything, so. I really want to
try the parlay. What's your intellect at?
2.
Oh, never mind. Never mind. All right.
Gaining a resource is pretty pointless, but yeah.
All right, my turn. I will try the parlay test. Test is a 4. I have a 4. We'll commit intel report first.
Okay.
And glimmer of hope.
Okay.
That puts me at a 7.
Beautiful.
-1. Good enough. All right. So parlay test state is done.
So you can either remove the frost token or grab the small radio.
Let's grab the small radio.
Okay.
You want to jot it down?
Yeah.
And then I'll try it again and try to get that token removed. Then might as well, right?
I think you can only do it once.
Maximum success per campaign. Yeah, you're right.
So
okay. All right, then we'll start to move then. All right, I'll move. Is there anything preventing us from moving?
Safeguard? I don't think so.
Nope. Okay, so these stay over here.
Yeah, I mean, that's just going to go away, so I'll just discard that.
And we'll, so that was second action, third action, I'll move again.
Okay.
All right.
All right, go to upkeep.
Upkeep. I take horror from Klepto.
And we're at 3 doom of 6, so yeah. Like if we draw an enemy at this point, it's probably in our best interest to just.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Through the eyes.
That's annoying. That I'm gonna ward. That feels worth warding to me.
It does feel worth warding. I shaft test 3 agility. Okay, I'll take it raw. Actually, I'll commit glimmer of hope. No, I'll save that for the test for the track shoes test. All right, so.
Gonna say it's basically take 1 damage.
0. That's a success, anyways.
Beautiful. All right. Yeah, I'll go first if that's cool.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Okay. Then I'll go next. 1, 2 track shoes.
Yep.
And for track shoes test, I'll commit backpack, and I'll commit glimmer of hope.
Okay.
So that puts me at a 6 to a 3. A 7 to a 3. Nice one. Good enough. And I draw a card. Okay, so we move here.
Okay.
And we have to be down here to resign, right?
Yep. Yeah, so we'll just resign next turn.
I'll move in. Final action.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Upkeep.
Upkeep. I take a horror from Klepto.
Okay, so I lose an action during my next turn, but that's fine, because it's just going to be move resign. I guess I'll use Danforth, because we can.
Yeah.
Alright. Oops. Here we go. And Doom and Bad Stuff.
You remember that one test that I took parlaying with that lady, and I drew a frost token? I could have used Claypool's ability.
Oh, yeah.
But that token was worth -3.
Yep.
Damn it.
Okay, that's fine. That's totally worthless. Oh!
Engineer.
Woo!
That sucks.
Ooh, man!
That I'm glad you said let's go resign.
Well, wow. All right, well, I'll move resign.
All right. And I will resign.
All right. Wow.
Talk
about down to the wire, right? Right at the last minute there. All right, so we resign.
And thank God you didn't Renfield.
No, I know, right? I was worried about that exact
like
same situation too. I was like, we've only drawn one of these ancient evils. I was like, at that point, I didn't even need the willpower boost, so.
With night coming to a close, the storm approaches faster and faster. Soon, the weather will be too deadly for your search to continue. If anyone is still out there, you doubt they'll survive, and neither will you if you remain unsheltered any longer. You return to your camp, your heart heavy with guilt and your mind addled with that foul noise that festers within.
R1?
I gotta say the writing has gotten really good in this game.
It is clear that someone compelled your teammates to venture away from the safety of your camp. Something alien and mysterious. Something that defies your understanding of Antarctica. None of those who wandered off remember why they did so or what they were doing. It is almost as if their memories were wiped clean, or perhaps their consciousness was supplanted by another. In any event, they seem to have recovered. You mourn those you've lost and prepare for the day ahead. Rest or no rest, you have only one chance if you're to survive. So we earn victory X. And then in the expedition team section of the campaign log, recorded the amount of damage. Which I don't think any of our assets took damage. Find each enemy in the victory display whose title matches a character that is not crossed off the campaign. They have been rescued, so they're no longer missing in action. Each missing team member who is not found surely could not have survived the night. Cross off their name. So I'm assuming they just die?
Damn. It says cross off their name, or?
It says cross off the name of each investigator who is still marked missing in action, yep.
It would be Sinha, but see, that's another. There's a few like mistakes here because like
it just doesn't feel very like clear in what it's trying to tell you.
Yeah, because cross off the name would just be like we get rid of the line that said MIA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's.
I'm just gonna put was missing because it's still missing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna assume she's dead. And then blah blah blah, and then proceed to checkpoint 2, the attack. You barely have time to rest before the sound of something erupting out of the ground nearby shakes you to your core. Massive tremors follow, sending cracks through the ice all around you. Then that noise, the insidious piping. It's just Xena in the background, just screaming. Whatever those creatures you encountered earlier were, you are sure that they came from under the ice, breaking or seeping through to reach the surface. They must somehow live deep underneath the glacial crust of Antarctica. These quakes can only mean one thing. Your imagination stirs with visions of these monsters bursting forth from all around you, creeping into your eyes and mouth, controlling you. It is clear you aren't safe here any longer. Alright, so we have to decide whether we're going to run for our lives or if we're going to stand and fight.
Oh boy. What do you think? I think I would run and fight, but I would run and hide and you would fight. So, but let's see who we still have as far as.
We have everyone but the doctor and Dyer.
Oh, okay. I feel like Cookie would be like, let's fight, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And Cookie always, he's the one that says what goes, so.
I don't know. He might be like, yeah, we gotta get out of here if we want to live the night.
I guess that's true. He could say that. Yeah, let's run for our lives.
Okay. Let's see. Proceed to the attack 2. Okay. You hastily grab what you can and flee the camp. You don't stop running until you've put many miles between you and the pursuing creatures. By the time you're able to set up camp again, it's past midday and the team is utterly exhausted. Your new camp is makeshift and haphazard, but it'll have to do. Skip Ice and Death Part 3 in its entirety. In your campaign log, record that the team fled to the mountains. Okay. Clean up the game. You will not return to this scenario for the remainder of the campaign, and then proceed to Interlude 1.
Okay. Restful night. Safe at last, you and the remaining members of the expedition take stock of your situation. You have lost several members of the team, but your numbers remain strong. Part of you knows that staying any longer would prove foolish or deadly. But a great many questions crowd your thoughts, demanding answers despite your worries. What were those uncanny phantasmal creatures? What happened here after Dyer's expedition left the icy waste behind? You and the others discuss the situation at length and consider various plans. Some believe in the total abandonment of the expedition, but to return empty-handed now would prove disastrous for the university, frustrate the scientific community, and possibly cost the remaining crew their careers. After all, very few believed Dyer's outlandish claims. Who would believe this? In the end, you decide to press onward. Another flight is out of question, of course. That thing in the sky must still be out there. It was a miracle you survived one aeroplane crash, let alone 2. No, there's only one way to reach the site described in Dyer's report now. You must travel on foot. The decision made, you retire to get what meager rest you can before the grueling trek ahead. You only have enough time to check on a few team members. One at a time, choose and read 3 of the sections below. 4 instead of the team fled to the mountains. We fled to the mountains, right?
Yes, we did.
If the game effect or chosen action cannot be performed, it does not count toward this total, and you may choose a new section. All right, so we read 4 of them.
Okay.
Are there more in the next page? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'd assume there's one for each crew member.
Okay, so let's pick randomly, right? Yeah, from the safe ones. We'll just pick them randomly. We pick 4 of them.
I was gonna say, because it looks like some of them also give you items. It's like, maybe we want some of the items?
It says, does it say choose? One at a time, choose and read 3 of the... Oh, yeah, I guess we get to pick. Okay. All right, so based on...
I mean, they didn't even, like... they just straight up used, like, old pieces of artwork. Dyer's sketches is quite good. Yeah, I mean, these items are pretty good.
Yeah. Dyer's sketches are so preposterous, come on.
I know, right?
I like the medical kit because I can use the items. I mean, they're all items, I guess.
Yeah, they're all items. I think they're all items except sketches.
Definitely the sketches is fantastic. Cookies, weapon. Staples furs. Personally, I like the sketches, the furs, the medical kit.
Should be 9 of these. Where are the other 2? Oh, there we go.
Holy cow. That cache is fantastic. Okay.
Yeah, that is quite
Jesus.
good. Yeah, these are all quite good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it's pretty safe to say that Anyu is probably the hardest one to take just because of that ally slot.
Yeah.
I mean, that ability's super good, but...
Yeah. Super duper good.
I don't think we need the furs either. I think we're okay for that. Or so we wouldn't get this.
Do we need a gun? No.
So I think there are really our only options are the sketches and the kit. I think as far as the items go.
Okay.
Because I think
the cache is great.
I think all of these. Yeah, I think all of these will be because if they're alive, you get to do something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Okay, so it's basically like, do we want one of these two things and then some advantage in the next scenario?
Yeah, let's get the sketches.
Okay.
For sure. That's definitely the best one.
All right, so you take a moment to pore through some of the professor's old sketches, which he brought with him in the event that they might prove something useful. As you suspect, none of the creatures he depicted look anything like you saw. But just as you are about to give up, you find several sketches of a city he claims to have found beyond the dark, jagged mountains. These depict an enormous archway emblazoned with 5 glyphs surrounded by a 5-pointed star. Below the archway, or perhaps behind it, looms something grotesque. The lines of the sketch disintegrate into a tangle of light strokes and splotches of ink that you can scarcely describe. Several more creatures with barrel-shaped bodies and starfish-like heads, the alien elder things Dyer described in his report, flank the archway, looking on reverently, their wing-like appendages spread forth in reverence. You just used the same word twice. You wish you could ask Dyer himself what this may mean, but sadly it is too late for that. You collect his sketches and bring them with you, hoping that they might come in handy later. So any one of us can add this into our deck.
Cool. You need card draw more than I do because I have the cigarette case.
Okay, so I'll add that to my deck. That'll help me find Hammer, which is good too. And then, yeah, I guess it's just a matter of like, what effect do we want?
Yeah.
So we can take the medical kit if we feel like we need it, but I don't think we do.
I don't think we absolutely need it, yeah.
Kinsler allows us to get some sort of special benefit that she's sharing research. Cookie gives us extra gives one investigator an extra
Claypool can remove a frost token. How many frost tokens are in the bag? Do we have any in there?
We have one.
I
feel like that one might be worth it just because it affects both of us.
Yeah, I think so. Let's do that one. Claypool is examining a map of the Ross ice shelf as you approach, tracing his fingers over topographical lines. We're supposed to have better weather conditions, he explains as you hunch over next to him. I don't know how or why, but something is messing with the weather patterns here. We're getting hit with storms too sudden even for Antarctica, and the temperature variance is closer to what we would find is in winter. You ask Claypool if there's anything that can be done to prevent further hardship. The inclination might be to hunker down, he replies, and surely there are some among us who are too exhausted to go on. There are others who feel the opposite, that we should leave immediately and find safety elsewhere. I believe the best course of action is somewhere between. He taps the map in front of him again, beckoning you closer. The storms are hitting fast and hard. We have to find our opening and move out the moment this one lets up, he explains. You nod in approval. Cool. So remove the token.
All right, so let's see. One investigator can begin with 3 extra resources.
That's really good.
That one's pretty good. Rolled gives us another campaign thing that says we scout the mountain pass. And let's see, Danforth gives us any investigator 2 extra cards in their opening hand.
Yeah. All right, let's do Danforth. You'll need the cards because you're
trying to find the hammer, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So Danforth mutters to himself over and over as you enter his tent. There seemed now to be no longer any room for hope, and I could perceive in the countenances of my companions that they had made up their minds to perish. The cadence of his voice suggests he is reciting something by memory rather than speaking his thoughts aloud. It's only after you loudly clear your throat that he seems to notice your presence. His eyes are wide and unblinking. Now you understand, he says underneath his breath. You have seen what I've seen. You nod. There can be no doubt any longer. Whatever Danforth saw when he and the professor escaped their ill-fated journey is the same entity that smote your aircraft to the ground. It knows we are here, he says gloomy. It sees us. And last one.
Let's do one of those campaign benefits.
All right, so do we want extra research? Do we want... Or do we want to scout the mountain pass?
I feel like research is more important.
Okay.
Right?
Sure. I don't know.
Now, we don't know, I guess, but... okay, so we have... Dr. Kensler is sharing her research. Okay, so... Where's this thing? The leader of the expedition gives you little heed as you enter her tent. Her eyes are instead glued to the microscope in front of her. She appears to be studying a glob of inky multicolored ichor in a small petri dish. She must have recovered some of that gunk earlier. If you ask if she thinks it's safe to be studying it so closely. Of course not, she responds in dry monotone. But sometimes scientific progress requires an element of jeopardy. It's true, in a way. You only hear it all because this team decided to put themselves at risk in order to confirm the truth behind Dyer's report. You ask Dr. Kensler what she has discovered. Frustratingly little. Physiologically speaking, this substance is unlike anything I've ever seen. I'm not even completely sure it's a liquid. It seems to possess qualities of all 3 states of matter. She finally sets the microscope aside, covers the petri dish, and meets your gaze. It would be fascinating were it not trying to kill us. And she shared her research with us. Oh, we forgot the Elia. We're good. And then we go to Restful Night 2, right? Go ahead, Tim. Nate? You're on mute.
Shit. That's what I get for drinking a glass of water here. Silence falls over the camp as one by one the team falls into deep slumber. You try your damnedest to get some rest yourself, but every time you close your eyes, the image of those phantasmal creatures comes seeping behind your eyelids, and you shoot awake. You wonder morbidly if death is the only way you'll ever rest on this journey. Check the expedition team section. Let's see if there are 3 or more names crossed out. Proceed to Restful Nights 3. Which
2 names crossed out.
There's only 2, so we're good there. Otherwise, proceed to scenario 2. Oh, geez. There we go. All right, so we will play that next week? Question mark.
Cool. Do we? Oh, we don't get to play Fateful Mirage.
We will at some point, I would assume.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I would assume that maybe if you play like part 3 of this scenario, it might take you to that before you play part 2.
Yeah. Oh. Hopefully, because Maxine talked about Fateful Mirage like 3 times when we interviewed her, so I'm curious what that is.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out.
I guess we will. Cool. Well, we're set up for victory for the next one.
Yeah, I mean, extra card draw is cool. What did we get for experience? We only got 2 experience?
Yeah.
It's a bit of a drag.
I'm gonna bank it.
Yeah, I'm kind of debating doing the same. I'd almost thought about taking the 1 extra experience for an enchant weapon, but it's probably not worth it. I always feel like those campaign benefits, like those...
It's probably
those things you record in your campaign log usually make much more of an impact. So, alright. Yeah, 7 experience, not the end of the world. I guess, really, you only have a max of 3 that you can get?
Yeah, there's not a whole lot.
So it looks like the doctor was all the way up on the rigid cave. So had we had gone that way, it would have been worth it, but...
oh well.
Yeah, but as we proved there, you know, it took us almost 2 turns just to move from one side of the map to the other and resign. Yeah.
So. And we went the right way going to those other 2, because if we had stayed and gone there, I don't know that we would have gotten the other 2 people.
Though I could have probably pretty easily done that willpower test, but that's neither here nor there. Alright, I will save this, and that will be that. I guess we will see you all next week for Scenario 2. Part 1. I don't know if this one's in multiple parts or not, but we'll find out. But until then, we will see you all next week.
Cool.
Bye-bye.